Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Poda's channel. We're sitting here once again with Ryan. We want to dive into the corporate update, give you guys a little summary of what that was about, and then dive into some recent topics in the industry. But first off, Ryan, how you doing?
Always doing well. Thanks. Good to be here. How are you doing, Michael?
I'm doing pretty well. So first off, this corporate update, while there's a lot of information here, we can't touch on it all. We recommend people actually just go read it. We'll leave a link to it below. Ryan, can you give us a summary of what it was you put out?
Yeah, I just wanted to put out basically trying to put together a comprehensive overview of the path that has brought us to this point, as well as some of the things I'm most excited about the team we've built here, the vision we have for the future, and the incredible product that we have developed and that we are now commercializing.
Wonderful. Yep. So guys, we'll leave that below so you guys can read it. It's a lot of really good information. Really shows the path that Poda's been walking and the things they've achieved, not only aiming for heat not burn, but doing it in a biodegradable way, in a device that you don't need to clean all the time. It's really wonderful information. We'll leave that below. Now, Ryan, another thing I wanted to talk to you about is reading articles about heat not burn. It's really starting to catch the eyes of media, right? And they're saying it's going to be going to have some huge growth by 2027. So I wanted to know your opinions on that.
Well, I mean, I think it is absolutely the future of smoking. I like to say people love smoking, but they hate dying. And so anything that offers a perhaps reduced risk way of either continuing smoking or as a tool to help stop smoking, I think it is really an incredible thing in the industry. Now, obviously, my position is any current smoker, the best possible choice they could make would be to quit smoking right now. If that's impossible or undesirable for certain smokers, then I think the next best possible choice is to switch to using a reduced risk product. Now, in the reduced risk category, many people, pretty much most people, I hope, are familiar with electronic cigarettes, e-cigarettes, or vapes. Those products have been around for over a decade. They do offer some incredible things. I think for what they are, they're a fantastic product, and they definitely provide a potential for a reduced risk experience. However, they do not mimic the experience of smoking in the way that heat not burn does. And I think that's really something important to consider. If you look at the global adoption statistics for e-cigarette users, only 30% of e-cigarette users are people who switched from smoking to using an e-cigarette. The other 70% of e-cigarette smokers are people who had either never smoked cigarettes or who had previously quit smoking and then at some point started using an e-cigarette device. And so I think that alone shows you that e-cigarettes do not provide an easy switch habit. And that means that somebody who's a smoker wanting to switch to an e-cigarette system, they really need to quit smoking in order to replace the habit with an e-cigarette. And for some people, that works great. And I strongly encourage people to do that. Like I said, quitting smoking now is the best possible choice you can make. Moving to a reduced risk product is also a fantastic choice. I think the best choice is quitting. If you can't quit, use a potentially reduced risk product. Now, that's where heat not burn really comes in. And I think the reason it's getting so much attention is that it offers a way for existing smokers to transition to a new, potentially reduced risk habit without having to sacrifice the experience of smoking. With heat not burn products, you still have the experience of a cigarette. You still have the oral fixation is satisfied. The vapor is flavorful and robust. You're still getting the nicotine delivery that you're experiencing with a cigarette. However, by eliminating the combustion, we can eliminate the vast majority of harmful toxicants that are produced as a direct byproduct of the combustion. And so heat not burn is really starting to catch on globally. In some markets, like for example, Japan, heat not burn was introduced into Japan in 2016. Since then, 25% of the Japanese cigarette market has converted to using heated tobacco products. Wow. That's an incredible conversion rate. In 5 years, already 25% of the tobacco smokers in Japan have switched to using heated tobacco products. And like I said, I think that's because of the fact that people love smoking, but they hate dying. And so having a system which offers a potentially reduced risk way to consume tobacco, I think is really appealing to people. Additionally, there's some other major benefits to using heat not burn. One being the lingering odor is dramatically reduced compared to cigarette smoke. And what that means is your clothes and your hands don't smell like smoke. Your car, your house, wherever you're smoking, it doesn't smell the same way it would with it as a traditional cigarette would make a strong lingering odor. I think anyone would be familiar with the odor of cigarettes. Also, the secondhand smoke is significantly less. And the product itself, I think, offers a very similar analog to the experience of traditional smoking. And I believe that the Poda product really completes the loop there by eliminating any cleaning requirements and delivering the same consistent experience day in, day out. And that's something that other heat not burn products struggle with, in that if you don't clean your device, the performance decreases steadily. The flavor is impaired, and you have to clean your device or you suffer from an impaired experience every time you use it. Basically, it gets worse and worse and worse and worse until you clean it. And I think with traditional smoking, each time you pull a fresh cigarette out of the pack, you light it, you enjoy it, then you dispose of it. Mm-hmm. With heat not burn, other competitors' products, you're really, each time you take a fresh cigarette out, you're still experiencing the flavor from previous cigarettes. And that's something that I think serves as a kind of a barrier to switching. And I think that's where the Poda system really offers an incredible opportunity for people to experience the same level of consistency and experience they're used to with a traditional cigarette, except with a potentially reduced risk way of consuming their tobacco. So I believe over the coming years, heat not burn is going to continue to expand. I believe this is the future of smoking. And like I said, I think the best choice would be for all smokers in the world to quit smoking right now. If they can't do that, the next best choice is to switch to a potentially reduced risk system. I believe heat not burn provides the reduced risk method without sacrificing the experience that customers are accustomed to with traditional cigarettes. And I think that's where we're going to continue to see a major shift towards heat not burn in the global tobacco market.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the shift is going to keep continuing. Going back to what you said about e-cigarettes, it's interesting how they captured so little of the market of people that were smoking traditional cigarettes, and a large portion of the people that actually went to e-cigarettes, people just wanted, you know, strawberry bubblegum cotton candy flavored stuff, and it wasn't really what original smokers were after. It just didn't hit the spot that they were looking for. And I also think you bring up a good point when it comes to the cleaning, right? It's important to make things as simple as possible for consumers when you're talking about changing anything in their habits. So the fact that with Poda you don't have to sit there and clean the device often is something that will stop them from being turned off from the idea of, oh, but if I go to this, I'm going to have this and this and this as extra steps, or I won't get that full enjoyment out of it. So it hits a much sweeter spot for them. But so Ryan, thank you for coming on. Thank you for sharing your wisdom on this. And is there anything else you want to add before we go?
No, I would just encourage everybody to research into heat not burn. If you're interested in the topic, there's a phenomenal amount of literature out there. Also, Philip Morris with their product IQOS, they've spent a huge amount of money on the science of the safety and efficacy of heat not burn. I would recommend looking into their science. They've done a fantastic job with that. And I think it's really an incredibly exciting time in the global tobacco industry as 1.3 billion smokers transition from using combustible products into potentially reduced risk heated tobacco products.
Wonderful, Ryan. Well, you heard the man, everybody, and stay tuned for more updates coming soon. Ryan, have a wonderful day.
Thanks.